So I've started to realize that I'm getting to the more extreme side of things. Not in a bad way, but like in pertaining to the goals that I have in life, the whole generational wealth thing and like what it takes to get to that. And it just kind of prompted this thought that I don't think a lot of people actually realize the amount, like the extremes that you have to go to if you do have these crazy lofty goals, that like the extremes that you have to go to get to those goals. Because let me backtrack a little bit, because recently I realized that I can this kind of sounds like some loser shit, but at the same time it's not, because like I'm choosing this. Like it could be opposite, but like I realized that I could actually spend a whole weekend at home, like now that I live alone for sure, like by myself, like I'm literally just in my crib, like obviously sleeping, working out, because there's a gym in my building. There's also one down the street, but not the point. Sleeping, working out, eating, working, entertainment, all within like this space, because I just entertain myself by being in my own area, in my own space. But like I could be by myself for like a week straight, not a week, that's a lot, a weekend, because like I'm just focused on like the things that are pushing me closer and closer towards my goal. Like just like the certain action, like I only want to do actions basically for the most part that push me or get me closer to my goal. So I can actually just give up a whole weekend and just only be focusing on that stuff, while everyone obviously wants to go out and do all that stuff. I mean, granted, sometimes it's because like things go wrong and I have to like fix things and whatnot, but I can do it out of just pure bliss. Like for example, friends went to Afrofest over this weekend, and like I actually did plan on going, and things did go wrong, so that's why I was at home for the most of the weekend. But at the same time, even if it wasn't like something that went wrong, I would still be able to not go to Afrofest and be okay with it, because I know I'm pushing myself closer and closer towards these certain goals. So that's like one example of the extremes, because like everyone talks about the sacrifice you have to make towards being successful, but then when it's actually time to make those sacrifices, they're like, the one time won't hurt me and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a compounding effect, my guy. That's how it works. But that's one example. And then another example is like I don't have a TV in my crib, because I didn't watch the TV in my past 2 cribs with my sister anyway. Like literally, we bought the TV, she used it, I want to say like 90% of the time, and that's not even saying that she used it like a lot, but like the 90% of the time that it was being in use, it was being used by her. Because like I only use TV or watch TV whenever it's like a really epic show that I'm into, like Peaky Blinders, Power, like I can't even name more than that. Well, I mean Game of Thrones, but that was way before I moved out. But it's only like something like really intense like that I'm really into. That's the only time that I watch TV, because besides that, like what's the point? So Mandan was like, yo, why don't you have a TV? And like the place actually came with a TV, but then I'm not using it. And he's like, yo, you need like a PS5, you need like a console, like there's no entertainment in your crib. And I was like, why do I need it? Because I don't use it. It's just gonna be a paperweight. I'm not really trying to entertain people here all the time. Like I value my space, the energy. I'm really protective of my space, and I do plan on entertaining people, but like only in a more wholesome sense, if that makes sense. Like the entertainment that's going to be happening isn't going to be based off people just staring at a screen. Like the way I plan to do things is more interactive. It's gonna be corny as fuck talking about playing board games and stuff, but like I'm dead serious, like having those vibes where it's more interactive, more conversations, and then you start to like build a network type of thing, and like that stuff. But that's to come in the future. But my point is, yes, I don't need a TV, and it's like that's an extreme that you're going to with doing that. So then I got into like this whole conversation, because he was like, yo, I move like a 35-year-old man. And I was like, that's the extremes that you have to be on. Like if I can move like a 35-year-old man when I'm 23, just imagine what I'm gonna be at 35. Like I'm gonna be way farther ahead of life, So then that just prompted me to start thinking more and more about like how people don't realize the extremes that you have to go to get to your goals. Like it's the 1% for a reason. Like literally in every aspect of life, like you hear all these stories about like actors doing the most to get their part, like they're living on nothing, yada yada, this and that. And then especially with athletes, like bro, the NFL, like the 1% chance of making it while you're in the States, and then if you try to like make it from like Canada and stuff like that, like the same guy, I'm not trying to throw my guy under the bus here, no hard feelings or whatnot, but the same as we were talking about basketball, and then he was like, yo, if I grew up in Canada, like, do you think I'd be like pretty good at basketball and all that stuff? And I was like, yeah, you have like the natural like physique for it and like the height and whatnot, so like there's a chance. And he was talking about how something about the odds of him making it to the NBA would be like so much higher. Well, maybe not the NBA. I think we're talking about the NBA. Let's go with that. Odds of him making it to the NBA would be so much higher if he lived in Canada. And I was like, bro, you don't understand the percentage of players that get to the NBA, first of all, in general, and then from Canada specifically. And he starts naming all these players, and like you're naming like 5. I'm like, bro, if you can't name me at least 50 players, I don't want to hear it, because the odds of making it to the NBA just from being American, first of all, Americans are just built different when it comes to sports. So that, and then having to go from Canada, where you have to be the best of the best in Canada, and then after that, you have to be like recognized as like an actual top talent. And then most of the time, you have to go from Canada and then transfer to the States and then get drafted. Like, and you want it. So you can see how hectic that is. And then just think of the extremes that you have to go to get there. Like, we're talking about the 1% of the 1%. And people just have like these big lofty goals, but they think they can get by on being a regular person. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you're above other people because you're going to these extremes or you want these things in life, but you have to recognize that you have to be different from other people. Everyone's like, oh, I want to stand out and be different, but then you're all the same, you're all acting the same. Like, please. Another example, another thing that just came to my head was like specifically with summer. Like, I just moved to Toronto. I think I already said that. I don't care. But now we're in summer and everyone wants to be outside. We just had COVID for this long ass time. So everyone's like, yo, let's go out like all the time. Let's go out every weekend and all that good stuff. And like, I get it. But there's summer next year too. So like, I'm perfectly okay with not going out as much, because I know like it's more conducive towards like pushing towards my goals if I like delay gratification for now, and then when I'm actually older, then I'll actually be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Like, the only things I'm really interested in doing this summer is obviously like Rolling Loud, because there's so many UK artists that are gonna be in North America. I can't miss that opportunity. That's actually crazy. And then the other things I'm trying to do are more like activity based and like lifestyle based, because also that goes into my other goals of trying to like grow my social media audience and all that good stuff, because I want to do more like inspirational stuff. And then with that, I want to be able to create more content and then like lifestyle type of content. So like going on like hikes, or like, you know, just having an active lifestyle, playing sports, playing tennis and whatnot, recording the experience, recording my lifestyle. Like, that goes into it because I also post it on the gram and it adds to it. But I don't want to be promoting all this super crazy, well, it's not even that crazy, but nightlife stuff. So, and it all looks the same anyway. That's the thing that actually cheeses me. This is a kind of a side tangent, but like, when I was in Mexico and we were vlogging and all that good stuff, I was looking back at the footage and I was like, it all looks the same. It all looks the same because we're just at different clubs, all this stuff. Like, we did do some stuff that's like activity, like zip lining, like ATVs and all that stuff, but that was only like one day. We were there for like a week, and like a lot of it was like food and nightlife, and it's just like, bro, what is entertaining about this? Like, we're not even, the people watching aren't even there. They're not just gonna watch you have fun for like 15 minutes straight of a vlog. But completely irrelevant. What I'm saying is, people just need to understand the extremes that you have to go to in life if you really want to get to the goals that you want to be at. Like, I'm talking about extremes. Okay, but my point is, anyway, yeah, we have to understand the extremes that you have to go to if you really want these goals that you're talking about, because people think it's soft out here, but it's really not. Like, you really have to push yourself and go through a lot of things. You have to push yourself in crazy ways that you might not want to, but that's the whole point. You're not supposed to be comfortable in growth. But yeah, so I don't know, rant, kind of had some side tangents and stuff, but I hope the point got across. But that's all for this video, and we'll see you. I forgot what it was. We'll see you in the next video while we're signing out.